Hey, it's Emily. Today I want to sit down and just kind of chat a little bit about the mistakes I've made while luxury shopping and also some tips, because as much as I would love to sit here and tell you that I've never made a financial mistake in my life, that is definitely not the case, and I've learned throughout the years. So if you enjoy these types of videos or luxury unboxings, luxury bags, or just casual fashion, be sure to consider subscribing, and let's jump into it. Alright, the first mistake is being impulsive, and I'm sure we've all been there, whether that has to do with luxury goods or just day-to-day things. It's so hard to control your impulses sometimes. So what I found that helps me be less impulsive is to have a list of bags, aka like a wish list or something along those lines. And for me, I have a 30-day rule. So if I see a bag that I like, I will do my best, because I have made a mistake before, but I will do my best to not purchase it until maybe after the 30 days when I really know that I like it. And of course it doesn't have to be 30 days, but that's like the minimum that I would give myself, because knowing me, I love so many different types of handbags, but usually one of two things will happen after the 30 days. I will either still really love the bag and still want to save up for it or sell a bag for it, or I will see another bag that I like even better, and that will replace that previous bag. So that's been something that's helped me in the last few years, and I highly suggest it because constantly there's so many new bags getting thrown out there. So the last thing you want to do is to walk into the store, get swooned by everything, leave your brain at the door, and just let your heart shop. Another mistake I made, especially in my earlier years of shopping luxury bags, is when you go into the store and you're looking at different pieces and you fall in love with one of the pieces, and your SA, aka your sales associate, starts catching on that you love that piece, they're gonna most likely say, this is the last one that we have, or we don't have any more new ones in the back. And to that, I have fallen prey and was like, oh my gosh, this is the last one. I have to get it, because like, how else am I gonna get the bag? And I'm sure we've all been there. So my advice is to, one, check what the return policy is. Some designer brands will allow you to return the item within like 7 to 14 days. It depends on the store. And you also have to pay attention if they're actually going to give you a refund or if they're going to give you store credit, because that's exactly what happened to me at Fendi when I purchased my Peekaboo. It was definitely more of an impulsive purchase because I hadn't waited the full 30 days before I could let myself buy it. So I bought it, and then I found out that you can only get store credit, and I was like, well, at least I love the bag enough and it stuck with me. But that was such a lesson learned, because if that were to be a bag that I was not 100% about, I would have instantly regretted it so much. So do your research on the return policies, and don't fall for it when an SA says that it's the last one, unless it is a very, very limited piece. But yeah, I know it's hard, but I've learned that when SAs tell me that, I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, it doesn't sway whether or not I'm gonna buy it more. I've been there, I've done that, and I'm not gonna do it again. The next mistake is not allowing myself enough time to do research about an item and then purchasing it and realizing like, I don't really like this. And when I say research, I mean like you can watch unboxing videos, first impressions, reviews. Highly recommend the review videos, but watch multiple of them, because one person may have something they dislike about the bag, another person may have something else they dislike about the bag, and you just want to gather as much information as possible to make a good decision. So for example, my Chanel zippy wallet that I got, I didn't do that much research on it, and it was definitely very impulsive. I bought it because it was a limited edition Tiffany blue color. I quickly learned that that kind of wallet is not for me and not for my lifestyle. I literally bought it because of the color. So yeah, but please, please, please do your research. Do your research about the leather, because sometimes a bag looks so beautiful, but the material may be so delicate that you can't even use on a regular basis. So do your research. I'm really embarrassed to say that I have made this mistake before, but it is using a credit card or getting into debt for a bag. I hate saying that out loud, but I have done it in the past. And however, I will say I paid the debt off pretty quickly because I just buy a bag, sell a bag, or buy a bag and sell some SLGs. Please do not get into debt because of a bag, especially because how expensive they are these days. And I will say the only time you should get into debt for a bag is if you're trying to rack up points, but you already have the amount to pay it off in cash. If that's the case, go for it, get your points and get your bag. But if you are just in debt and you want a bag, don't do it. It's not worth it, and it's not worth the stress. It's just a bag at the end of the day, so don't get into debt. Another mistake I've made, being influenced by other people to get a certain bag. This happened with one of my very first designer bags, and that was my Gucci Soho Disco. At the time, it was literally the rage. Every person had it. It was like the go-to everyday bag, and it was priced pretty well. It was under $1,000 at the time, which is insane because now it's like $1,200. But yeah, I just remember seeing it everywhere, and that is when Gucci started really becoming more popular. And it was right around the time when the Gucci belts were also popular. So I fell into the Gucci trap. I sold that bag, I let it go, and it was a very important lesson learned, because when it comes to luxury bags or luxury goods, you should simply buy what you like. What you like, not what other people are wearing, because if you're buying stuff that people are wearing now, it could easily go out of fashion in the next 6 to 12 months, especially now because all these fashion houses are coming out with so many different designs, so many bags. They're testing out the market to see what sticks. And for me, I learned that very fast, that all the bags that I buy are going to be because I love it, it fits my lifestyle, it suits my frame, all of the above, because at the end of the day, you're paying a lot of money, and that would just be so tragic if your entire collection was just because of Instagram, or just because you got the trendiest bag but you don't really love it 100%, or you don't use it. Like, you buy a bag to use it, so be sure it's something that goes with your style, your wardrobe, your day-to-day life, or however you want to use it, and that's really all that should matter. So with that being said, those were the biggest mistakes I have made when purchasing luxury goods. So if you have any extra tips, be sure to leave it down below. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully you will not make the same mistakes that I've made in the past. And again, please consider subscribing if you haven't already, or follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!